pick up bags of cash. So, obviously, just so the internet knows, I also have a weapon with me all the time.
Yeah.
What I've noticed the IRS likes to do with those people is it likes to let them just get bigger. And then they just get you for a bigger chunk. When I was young, I remember seeing my first nice chunk of cash come in. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, but I'm just going to buy the car, so who cares about my credit? They're like, dude, we don't want to sell you the car. Your credit sucks.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to FFC Studios, episode number 10. Today, we are recording on a Saturday, which is awesome because usually all of you guys know we drop Monday and Wednesday videos. But today, I felt like we had a special need to bring some of our special guests here, good friends. And for those of you who don't know these guys, they are our accounting team here at FFC. And so we are going to be sharing some tax talks today to just help educate a lot of you guys on what you guys, whether it be the economy, what's happening, how to manage your money, how as a business you can leverage the tax system. And we talk all about that here on this channel. So we want to make sure that you guys are up to date from people that are making it happen. So I know I want to have the team introduce themselves. So maybe we can go around the room.
Okay. So I'm Edwin. I own Edwin Does Taxes here in Downey.
I'm John. More likely go by Johnny. And I'm the junior accountant that studies under Edwin.
Awesome.
I'm Samuel. I have a small business. I started it's been a while since I started in 1980, was it? And I'm here just playing the game.
And you created Edwin.
We're creating each other.
There you go.
Pops.
No.
He got all the new things, I learned from him because I can't keep up with all technology. It's going so fast. And he learned from me the old tricks,
Well, that's awesome, guys. And thank you for accepting the invite. I know short notice. You guys are, you're heading out tomorrow. And so, thank you for coming out today and making some time.
Definitely.
And so we just, we wanted to just have this conversation today because I know, of course, we had a lot about it, about, what Biden's been doing, but the economy and things like that. I mean, what do you see happening right now in the economy? I know there's a lot of talk about recession. There's a lot of different, topics that people are talking about. How are you as an accountant right now? Like, what do you see happening in the economy?
Well, there's certain businesses that are doing very well. They're keeping up. They're adjusting. Money-wise, it might be a little bit harder to be as profitable, but there's still a lot of business to be done. The economy is definitely, I think, somewhat on cruise control right now. There's some people that it really depends on. Transportation is a big one right now. It's hard to make money on transportation though, because of all the scheduling. There's a lot of scheduling and conflict. There's
a new law too, right? The AB something law.
There's a new law that came into effect just a couple of days ago that's changing the way you're supposed to have the structure of your company and how it's supposed to be set up, how you're supposed to report your income, how you're supposed to pay your whatever help you have. So there's definitely going to be more formalizing, and obviously with formalizing, there's going to be more, basically more regulation. There's going to be way more regulation, but it's also good for the economy. It's good for the industry. It's good for California for sure.
I heard they have to become corps now, and report payroll and stuff like that. That's what I've understood.
Absolutely, it's gonna be harder to subcontract unless you have your own insurance.
No 1099s. You need to have your own.
You have to have your own company in order to be able to do stuff like that. So basically, no more DBAs.
Para los troqueros.
Yeah, so truckers are definitely gonna be adjusting the way they do their taxes, how they report their income, and how they deduct, how they pay people. And there's gonna be very heavy regulation too. So there's gonna be audits.
Yeah.
I'm estimating that there's gonna be a lot more auditing.
Did you see that one post about like how they've put in millions of dollars for more IRS agents and things like that? You guys have been seeing that online too?
Yeah, I think it's like 82 million.
Yeah, just to
IRS for like 82,000
agents
to audit people.
Yeah. That's
crazy.
So
that's our job is gonna be to prepare everyone to be more audit friendly.
What's a good checklist?
ideally, you would want to have the original receipt of the transaction.
Okay.
You want to have your bank statements.
Okay.
And you want to have, you try to avoid paying with cash. So maybe a debit card, a check, writing a check, which nobody writes checks anymore.
Credit cards are valid too.
Credit cards, excellent choice. You have a record, but when you use your credit cards, you still need your original receipts. When I go to an audit, that's what they're going to ask me. They're going to ask me for the original receipt for the transaction, and then they're going to ask me for the credit card statement, and they're going to want me to match it.
Oh, okay.
So
was it different before? Because I know
it's always been like that. So that's
okay.
that's the way it's got to be.
Okay.
So a lot of people
everybody grab receipts and
just
put
start
them in a
them
folder or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that bad what I do because I travel a lot. I eat out a lot. I'm always out and about. So what I do is I throw everything in my glove compartment. Once a week, I'll go and I'll empty it and I'll throw it in a box.
Yeah. Simple.
And yeah, something very simple. And then once a month, grab everything from that month and just label it December or whatever.
Yeah.
And then label it by month. We don't have to go through it, but we want to make sure that it exists.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to back you up in case of an audit.
Yeah.
That's what's going to help you formalize those deductions and be able to deduct them from your income, from any earned income that you have for that year.
Got it. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as it gets done.
As long as you have it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's many different ways. I have clients that come on a piece of scratch paper, for example.
Yeah.
And then I have people that send me spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they'll send me their QuickBooks access. But it's all valid as long as you're able to explain how you're recording it. It has to exist.
Yeah.
You know, so some people are a little embarrassed. They come in with a piece of paper and they wrote down all their notes. And they apologize. Hey, I'm sorry. You know, I go, look, if you can explain this to me and if you have those records,
Yeah.
then that's your system.
Yep.
And that system is good enough for anyone as long as you're able to justify and explain how you're using that system. So you don't have to have a, super high-end computer. My dad loves scratching shit down on paper, and we make that shit work.
Right.
You know?
Whenever I make a big payment, I make a happy face just so it won't hurt.
Add a little happy face
Smile.
on the paper. Yeah, that's true.
No, it might look, it sounds like a little simple, but at the end of the year, you're saving all those receipts and they add up, and they become like a big expense. And so you have to be careful to save all the paper. Any little thing you pay, save it.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you have to be your own accountant to a certain extent.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you're gonna specialize in whatever product or service that you do,
Yep.
and you're internal. You're your own accountant. It's your own fucking money.
Yeah.
Like you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to know if you're making money or not. If
Yeah.
you're not, then something's fucked up,
Yeah.
and you have to fix it. That's your job as the owner. So to a certain extent, you have to be involved in the money part.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I would say with receipts, especially with meals and travel, if it's always like an excess, you kind of just want to write down what the meal is for. If you're with this client, what you guys talked about. This way, if you get audited,
Just some
it's
notes.
Like, yeah, it's like this is what I did with that meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any meals that are kind of like over $75, and which easily can get up there nowadays. A couple steaks.
Yeah, yeah. There's something I read once, and maybe you can fact check it now, but I heard the IRS doesn't require receipts under $20.
They're not so well. I mean, generally speaking, when my personal experience in audits is that they go for big ticket items. I'm not saying that that's that's exclusively what the IRS is gonna do.
Yeah.
But they don't want to sit down and go through $3 transactions and shit like that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you bought a chair for $1,000. Let me see the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where's the chair? Oh, it's that leather chair right there. Okay. Give me the receipt. Now give me the bank statement, what month you bought it on. You know what I mean? And they go, and then they match big ticket items. They look for $300 items, $500 items, $1,000, $3,000. They look for those transactions. So those $20 transactions, they don't care about that. That IRS agent can't spend 8 hours on fucking $200 of Starbucks deductions. He needs to make a couple $1,000 that day on that audit. That's his goal.
Yeah.
Minimum $5,000, $10,000. for his day, for that day of audit. So he's going to look for the big ticket items.
Right.
So what would you guys suggest for somebody, right, that, let's say they do $500,000, right, and they're left at the end of the year with $100,000, and they have only $200,000 of receipts. There's another $200,000 missing.
Yeah, we have a problem.
How can somebody navigate through all those expenses that they didn't track?
Oh, well, it depends how you spend your money.
Like
So
a lot of it was cash or something like that.
that's a problem. That's a big problem. You might end up getting stuck with the liability for something like that if you don't have the right record keeping. Because what they're going to do if you ever get audited, that's if, right? They would just say, hey, if you don't have the proof, we're going to remove it because you can't prove the expense.
Yeah.
And that'll adjust your income. So your income now went up from 100,000 to 200,000.
Yeah.
Or 300,000 if you're missing 200,000 of receipts.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay taxes on 300. So that'll get adjusted. And because that number is so big, there's a penalty. Whenever you pay less than what you were supposed to and you exceed a percentage, you get a penalty. I believe that percentage is what, 20, 25%?
25, I believe.
So if you underpay by 25%,
Yeah.
then you're going to get a penalty for underpayment penalty. And
So keeping track of everything is important.
crucial.
Yeah.
Closing deals obviously comes first.
Yeah.
And then second is you
Go to
got to
Home
watch your ass.
Depot,
You know?
go to everywhere you buy, you spend money, no cash.
No cash. You could buy stuff with cash and
Yeah.
get the receipt.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to leave it up to the IRS to determine how much your taxable income is because
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
recognize all the income for sure.
Every dollar.
Expenses.
At my laundromat, I pick up bags of cash. So obviously, just so the internet knows, I also have a weapon with me all the time.
Yeah, because they're gonna
I'll fucking
find
shoot
you.
I'll fucking shoot you, bro. You
They're gonna see
know?
a bag. They're gonna see everyone dragging a bag. It's gonna be actual clothes or
Yeah.
trash, and they're gonna be like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we deposit it in the bank, and then we write everyone a check for everything.
yeah,
So we're a cash business only. We don't even have an ATM machine. If you don't have cash, you can't wash your shit at my laundromat.
What about all the people that say, "Hey, Edwin, since you have a bunch of cash, why don't you just not deposit all of it and just?"
Well, okay, so then that can happen, right? But then the IRS is like, let me look at your Edison bill, and let me look at your water bill, and then let me look at your gas bill. And then they're going to put someone like Johnny that's young and smart and can stare at a piece of paper for 8 hours straight. And they're going to calculate how many times they can run a machine based on my usage of my utilities. And they're going to say, Edwin, we estimate that you're able to make at least $10,000 based on how much water you used, electricity, and how much gas. Where's those 10 G's at, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I'll guarantee you they'll give you
but you only put 3,000 in the bank, Edwin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So then that's going to be a problem. And that's the way that that type of audit would go. So there's a way for them to figure things out without you being able to control
basically,
that.
if you're watching this, you can't beat the system. They've already. There's enough people that have tried things already.
System has been around for
They've been around.
quite a bit. You know,
Yeah.
it's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
The people that designed it, they're doing okay.
Yeah.
They're doing probably a lot more better than okay, and they know what they're doing. So it's designed a certain way, and it's for control.
Because a lot of people that come to us as well, they come, they think they're smart. They want to beat the system. They want to, they want to put, they want to keep things under the table, put things under their mattress and things of that nature. But then there's a lot of liability that comes with that, and that's sometimes
100%. What I've noticed the IRS likes to do with those people is it likes to let them just get bigger, and then they just get you for a bigger chunk. So for them, it's kind of like, oh, it's a side. It becomes like a side hustle. It's like, oh, he's part of us, not formally us, but whenever we want to cash out, we're just gonna be like, hey, Edwin, we know what you're doing now. That's why we're here. So there's the FBI's here.
Yeah, we see that Lambo outside.
Yeah.
of Southgate.
Exactly. You know, in Southgate.
In Southgate.
In Southgate.
I learned through the years, running my small little business.
Yeah.
This give Uncle Sam's was Uncle Sam's, and
Just pay your taxes.
pay your taxes.
It's fair. It's a lot of tax.
And there's a lot of deductions though too for business owners.
You're
right?
able
That's
to
where-
deduct an insane amount of stuff that's still legal.
Yeah.
You're able to provide well for if you formally do everything correctly. Your chances of you growing, of borrowing, you're able to create a team. You just have exponentially a lot more chances of developing something a lot stronger if you do it correctly than by dodging and that's, I mean, I'm a combination of old school, so there's always going to be a little bit of that in me, even though what I understand and what I'm educated in is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
Right? There's still going to be some curiosity. I know my parents, when I told them I bought a laundromat, they just looked at me. They were like, "What the fuck?" And I go, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Con
You
esa
know?
mirada, Fue la misma mirada,
And
Tiene me blood. He got the business in his blood, so
Yeah.
and,
crazy.
you know, but I was like, it doesn't work like that. I wish the money, I could just grab it and just fucking hide it
Una
somewhere
bolsita
and
cada-
keep it. But the reality is that if I want to keep growing, I need to pay some taxes, show some good big tax returns, some strong ones. Then I can go to the SBA and I can buy the fucking building. And that laundromat will pay for the building. And then later on, I'll just borrow from that building. And then then I'll lease a Ferrari or whatever the fuck I want to buy. And then I'll have the laundromat pay for everything. I'll just use it.
Can you slow down a bit and explain that to the people watching this? Because I understand exactly what you're saying, but there's a lot of people that don't, especially if they're
'cause that's-
starting up, right? That's
It's
like
so unfair once you know so much information and how to develop this. But
explain just the three things you mentioned there.
so what you would want to do is live off of loans.
Listen
you
closely.
want to borrow money, and you want to use that money.
No, so cash isn't king anymore.
Without a doubt, it's not.
Yeah.
Cash is great. I fucking love walking around with a bag full of money.
And we
But-
need a little money.
Yeah. That shit feels nice. I throw it in the counter, and it counts it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels great, but it's useless.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't have any credit, and
Yep.
I
First
first
that
time
little
is-
ding, 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 ding. If he's hit on the money.
that was the first eye opener for me. When I was young, I remember seeing my first nice chunk of cash come in. My business was probably already well into like the 5th or 4th year or something.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is at least 6 figures,
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to at the very minimum. And I go to the dealer. I'm like, fuck, I want the black one. And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. Edwin, we got you. Let me look at your credit. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, but I'm just going to buy the car, so who cares about my credit? They're like, dude, we don't want to sell you the car. Your credit sucks. I was like, but I could buy the car and have the money. And they're like, no, fuck. Get out of our fucking dealer, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you suck. And that's when I realized, oh, fuck. I have money, but if you don't have credit, nobody wants to fuck with you. They just don't trust you.
Yeah.
They just don't trust you.
Yeah, because they don't know where that money came from.
The bank doesn't
Yeah.
trust you.
Nobody.
The 21, 25-year-old kid that's selling you the car doesn't trust you no more. He looks at you like if you're a criminal now.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, you have bad credit? Oof.
They watch Narcos.
Yeah. So, without a doubt, that's when I learned, okay, you could literally walk in there as a hobo, but if you have an 800 credit score, fuck, dude, you could walk away with any car with low interest, with the maintenance package included, the black on black, they'll give you whatever you want. Credit is king, without a doubt.
So tie it back. So we tie it back to the laundromat. Let's say somebody buys a laundromat. You probably want to buy it with a lot of credit.
You want to either you buy it yourself and then you pull equity out of it, or you borrow and you buy it with some. Now, what I have a thing for not wanting to owe a lot of people a lot of money. So I don't like debt. I'm not that big of a debt person.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very meticulous when it comes to using my credit now because of how hard it was to establish it and to build it. It took so many years and
Yeah.
My dad doesn't have that problem, so my dad was always on my ass, like, fuck, when are you gonna fix your credit? You know, what the fuck? And so when you get that pressure, you know, and you know, then you're like, okay, fuck, this has to get taken care of, and now it becomes so delicate that you don't want to touch it. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like a cristal, you know.
I mean, first of all, you know,
That's a trophy.
First of all,
Yeah, it's a trophy.
How you gonna buy how you gonna get a house? You know, if you don't have good credit, you gotta
And
have
he's
it.
old school, so the first thing you have to have is a house. If you don't have a house, then where the fuck do you live?
And there you go. You got money.
Aquí en la
but, you
oficina,
know,
jefe, pues ahí tengo mi cuartito.
You have a cot right there, AC full blast.
That's it.
and we're neighbors, so I know where you are. Right?
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Ahí la rento un cuarto.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a must. You know, your credit is very important. I learned the hard way too. You know,
Yeah.
my first credit card. But then,
Right.
you know,
Right.
It probably,
you know?
I can bet you anything. It probably was a la Curazao.
you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
Johnny, do you know what la Curazao is?
I don't want to know at this point.
Oh, take
He
a
only knows about Tarjay,
Tarjay,
but he
huh?
doesn't go in there.
He gives me the Sprouts kind of vibes, you know, more like a Sprouts.
Without a doubt.
Not that bougie, dude.
No,
Nah.
So Johnny's
he's a smart man.
a very smart man. He's been paying a lot of attention. I've been feeding him as much as I can, the information that I know. And he's obviously done a lot of his own research, and he has a very strong upbringing. So very strong credit, very young, lots of savings, getting into the real estate industry, getting that passive income. Slowly, you know, he's become my partner. Now we're partners, and we're developing our firm to an extent where we should be able to keep it as a family. We're building a family here. And the thing is, the stronger he gets, the stronger I get, the stronger my dad gets.
Yeah.
But we all have a very similar foundation.
Yeah.
And that is the discipline. You know, you could have fun. I you know, one of the things that you know very well is how to have fun. Clean fun too.
What do you mean by that?
Cause
what you know how to have fun? What do you mean you know very well?
Because like
All we do is work here.
You're the
man. What are you
perfect.
talking
You're the
about?
perfect. Because you're the perfect
cafecito.
example of someone that can have fun and not wake up the next day all hungover and shitting himself.
That's
the next
true.
day you closing deals and you get right
True.
back to it, and you have that discipline.
Appreciate
You're
that.
one of those people that can do that type of stuff. I have the ability to do that, but you do it in a very clean way, and that's what people need to understand. Whatever they see is only a part of it.
Very true.
The bigger part is your discipline. How much discipline do you incorporate into your lifestyle?
Very true.
You know, at the end of the day, I like to chill. I like to party and have fun. But there's a core at the end of the day. Certain things need to get done.
Yep.
So there's a certain respect to the game, you know?
There's no more emotion involved, right? It doesn't matter how we feel.
Emotion
still get
can't
it
be.
done.
Yeah, emotion can't be part of it, unfortunately. We don't have that luxury,
Yeah.
you know?
Even if
I
shit,
feel sad.
This is
So.
one of the things I heard we have to learn. And if you're a business owner, if you're somebody who's trying to get ahead, you have to learn to thrive in chaos. That's
Chaos is part of the mix.
Yeah.
It's stress, failure, chaos, mistakes. I mean, fuck, he's seen me make big mistakes where I've had to pay, and I pay quickly.
Yeah.
I move
Yeah,
on
just-
quickly.
Yeah, go rip that paper, go close that door, whatever.
Oh, we
you-
fucked up. What did we do wrong? Fix it, pay for it. Let's
Yeah.
get it done. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Well, by mistakes, you become stronger. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are lessons that I've learned. So
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot from Johnny. You know, after he graduated from school, he's been with me a lot. He's spending a lot more time in the office.
Yeah.
And because everything is fresh, the books are fresh.
Yeah.
He's able to incorporate a lot of that discipline in me, because after 10 years of getting it your way,
Yeah. I know
you
what
tend
you mean.
to once in a while slack off,
Yeah, and then somebody else checks you.
and then you got to get checked.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works.
And you have to understand when you're being checked that you're dropping the ball.
Yeah.
So you always, at the end of the day, we're just students.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because you say that. That made me think a lot about. So we have an apprentice program here where we're bringing on people that are looking to get into the business game, to just do similar things, duplicate ourselves here, you know. So we are getting people that are coming on and that are hungry, that are ready to move forward, that are like very scheduled. They want to be here 8 to 5. They want to hustle. They want to learn the next thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And it checks us. As if you've been a business owner for 5+ years, you get in cruise control.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need
or
that
you get burned out.
Yeah, you get burned out too.
Yeah, burnout, which is I've experienced burnout.
Yeah.
Where now I'm fucking going to a different state and I'm wanting to stay there. You know, or fucking you go to a desert and you're just like, hey, it's hot as fuck. I don't give a fuck how hot it is.
For me, I go somewhere with a nice beach. That's me right there.
Yeah, nice beach. Shit, I do the beach once a week.
Yeah.
And we're very beachy. I was just talking about that last night.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make a move, we're gonna make a move at the beach now.
Yeah.
You know, that way you don't have to move again. You know, just that's what we like.
Yeah.
And the beach is definitely good for you. I escape to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
Should I have my laptop? I have a big ass battery, like a car battery. And I just plug in my laptop, and I could be at the beach just kicking sand around, looking at pedorritos, you know.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Click.
we'll edit that part. No, but we do need that. We do need those people to come in, right? And that new blood sometimes is what
absolutely
re-engages a lot of people that have been in the industry.
Absolutely. So a lot of the older folks, obviously, they have a lot of more discipline.
Yeah.
Because they've struggled, you know, above and beyond. They came to this country and they established somewhat of some stability for themselves.
Yeah.
Which has made it easier for us. But then they expect that type of discipline in the younger crowd that already has everything. Mm-hmm. And their type of discipline is a different type.
Yeah.
It's done now through technology.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less physical. You don't see them running around.
Yeah.
But they're doing a lot on their phones.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way things are done nowadays.
Yeah.
Sometimes people close deals over the phone.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly
more than
normal.
ever before now. Yeah.
A lot more now than back in the day when it was more of a handshake.
Yeah.
And everyone wore a tie and shit like that.
Yeah. No. And that's why, you know, you guys are going to see a lot more of, as you guys are coming to us for business taxes, right? Johnny's going to be one of the main integrants that
absolutely
that you guys are going to be able to see here. He's going to be taking care of you guys. So just keep an eye out for that baby face.
Yeah.
Johnny
he may look young, but he is strong and wise.
Yeah.
And that's what matters here.
I mean, I barely started showing my face to like the business owners like this year. Mm-hmm. Last few months when I went full time, but I've been working with Edwin for like
before he had a mask on, huh?
I never did mask. I've been at it for years.
Been trying to get him to sharpen up that Spanish, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
if somebody has a in Español Sin Barreras course, please send it over to my boy Johnny.
Yeah, I got some books in the car, like, you know.
No, that's awesome, man. And I mean, so tailor it back. So we get a business, right? I know you said you get a business, have the business by the building, have the building pay for your whatever the hell you want to get. So walk somebody through that step. I know there's a lot of people watching this that maybe they're cash rich, but they're not credit rich, or they have some money.
Oh, well, so that's what we are.
Right? So, they want to finance their lifestyle. They want to leverage the tax system.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they don't know how. So what are some steps that somebody can take like that?
Well, definitely invest your cash in something that's going to give you some type of interest.
Okay. Or a business in this case. Or let's say like your example.
Ideally, yeah. I mean, I would choose something that you like to do.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you like to do, it's going to make more sense because you're going to have to do a lot of it. I've always liked real estate. I've never had the money to go in and buy 100 houses. So we're going one by one. But I realized the deeper I get into that industry, the more I like it. So I'm starting to realize that there's things that I'm still learning that I like. I used to think that taxes, and I guess the advantage of liking taxes is that no one likes taxes. So there's very few people that like taxes, right? So I figured that would be a big advantage for me.
True.
The way I set up my laundromat is I bought it cash. So I did use my money to buy it because I wasn't comfortable owing money on a business that I've never been into. I've never had a laundromat before.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of money they generate.
So what did okay?
So I figured I didn't want to bill. I would just own it. And that way I can figure out, there's no pressure as far as, oh, we have this to pay. We have this monthly payment every month and it's $6,000, for example, or $8,000. Instead, all I got to pay is the bills and the rent.
Yeah, so it's like a toy you can play with now and make it your own.
So now I can experiment with the laundromat.
Got it.
And say, you know what? Let me paint this shit white. Oh no, let me paint it black. Let me paint it pink. Or let me kick everybody the fuck out of here, and only bring commercial businesses in here, and only wash for restaurants or for convalescent homes.
Yeah, so having the power to own it will give you those flexibilities, I guess.
Gives you the flexibility without having that background pressure of, hey, you need to pay me because you owe me $100,000 for that shit.
So you can't make changes, crazy changes right here.
Without, you know. And so that's the reason why I did that. But then that gives me the ability now to use it as leverage. And when I go to the bank and I go, hey, look, so I like this building, the bank's going to go, well, what are you going to guarantee me if I lend you $2 million to buy this building? My answer to that would be, besides the building itself that's worth $2 million, I would also give you my laundromat, but give me maybe a better rate on the interest.
So you can use that as collateral.
Borrow that money. That money is not taxable because it's a loan. You get the building, and you start generating rental revenue. That rental revenue is going to be taxable, but then you're going to write off property taxes, your maintenance, your repairs. All of that is going to be deducted. And then
you could also write off your rent from the...
Absolutely. Yeah. You rent it to yourself for your management or for your laundromat, whatever it is that you're going to use it for. And then once you establish a good tax return for that rental income, then you borrow against that, and that's what you use to survive. You use that loan. And what you're borrowing, that loan is being paid by your tenants, by the laundromat, and you're using the loan to pay for your stuff. And
most
that
likely
loan
will be a write-off, all the stuff that you get from that, right? Because
absolutely, you're writing everything off this whole time.
Yeah.
But then that loan is not income for you because it's a loan. So you're not paying taxes on any of that money.
So instead of getting paid by all these things, you just loan money to yourself from these.
Just like the big boys would borrow money from their insurance. They have their insurance policies. They call them cash value insurance policies.
Yeah.
And there's guys that are like my dad's age that have invested $1 million into these things, and now they just borrow. Hey, let me borrow $500,000 from there, tax free. And with $500,000, you can fuck off and do anything you want.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
But it's a loan, so it's not taxable to you.
Yeah.
You know, but that takes, 20, 30 years to build. So it's not something practical that you can go and do tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can start building your business tomorrow, but at the end of the day, what you're going to have to do is show some good tax returns, build some credit so that you can start borrowing some money. That's how you're going to start growing.
Got it. No, that makes sense. And hopefully that made sense to a lot of you guys. I know if you have questions in depth about this stuff, please in the comments below, write down your questions. We'll try to break it down furder, later on.
Yeah, we can do a bigger breakdown. I mean, this sounds easy because I do this every day, and that's what we focus on. So for us, putting it together is very simple, but there is a lot going on, and there's a lot of stuff that has to happen in order for it to be legal. It has to be legal, because otherwise it's going to cost you more money.
Yeah,
it won't be efficient.
Very true.
So it has to, number one, it has to be efficient. So knowing all the rules is number one. Being catch rich is good. You invest that money. You invest it because, as we all know, inflation has hit us hard.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't feel the inflation, but that's because I adjusted my prices. That's all I did. I go, hey, well, if everything went up 10%, we're going up 15%. I just gave myself a 5% raise. That's what I had to do to survive as a business owner.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice. Otherwise, I would make 90%. I mean, I don't want to take home 90% of whatever I deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not take 105 instead?
I know that's a fear for a lot of people, though. I know we talked about this yesterday, but what are the pros and cons of raising your prices now as a business during this kind of economy?
It's tough for us as business owners because we all have a hard time letting go of a client.
Yeah.
I know growing up as a kid, working for my dad, we had a hard time saying no to people. But then my dad got to a point, and I think it was his age. I'm not too sure what it was. He knows. But I saw him change from, hey, you know what? We're going to hook you up to, oh, you have a bad attitude? Fuck you. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not working for you. I don't care how much you pay me. If you don't respect me, I'm not going to fuck with you.
Yeah.
And and then after that, he never came back from that. And then I remember not being that way until I got to a certain level in my career. So that fear is always there in the beginning. And then after a while, you're like, wait a minute. This fool doesn't respect me. I can't do this.
And usually respect is harder when you charge cheap.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. The lower you go, the less respect you get.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's those two things go hand in hand.
You'd imagine it'd be different.
You would imagine that people would be
appreciative,
a little bit more appreciative of like, oh wow, this guy is busting his ass. He's giving me a discount.
Yeah.
He's hooking me up.
Yeah.
On the contrary, they're like, oh, dale otra pasada ahí.
Yeah. Well, like I said.
Well, in the business, it's all about, you could control your prices, but at the same time, you give quality,
Yeah.
It goes with quality. If you give.
For you to give quality, you need to make a minimum amount for you to feel good about what you're doing.
Of course.
It has to feel good.
Yeah.
It has to feel good. That's what I've protected my team from. And I've told that to Johnny many times when we've had problems with our clients where the respect has to be there. Hey, did this person in any way offend you or talk to you in any way that I wouldn't like? Because that can be a problem.
Yeah.
That can be a problem. Money, we're money people. We can fix money. But if you disrespect us, we can refuse. And it's not going to cost us anything.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost the client something.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're not vulnerable. We're 100% vulnerable as well. But you get to a point in your career where you understand that there's minimum thresholds. There's requirements that need to be met in order for you to be able to sustain that type of quality of service.
Yeah.
And it has to feel good. So
yeah,
that's very important. And that's the scary part for a business owner, saying raising your prices is to a certain extent you're saying no to a certain type of client.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's just the way nature is. In my laundromat, I learned that I would rather have my machines being used less often, and people pay a higher premium to use them, so that they get less damage, and I make more money. It has to be that way, because at one point we were the cheapest in the neighborhood, and we were getting a lot of clients that were very picky, excessively picky, and they would complain about everything.
Probably more careless too.
And very careless, leaving shit everywhere, stuff everywhere, soap everywhere, dirty floors, kids spitting candy everywhere. And when I raised my prices, but I also remodeled the place, put some cool air in there, put a big beverage machine, many different types of beverages, and I gave people more options for them to consume other items that weren't there before. Once I made the environment more healthy by removing homeless people, putting in some trees, putting in some better lighting, all that came with a price increase. And the ones that stayed are because they want a quality place to clean their stuff. They want a clean environment.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's safe. It's in Compton. As we know, Compton is a great neighborhood. But
Shout out to Compton.
Compton. But, it's Compton. And people who are from LA know that Compton is the suburb. It's a rough city. So to have a nice clean place, to have a nice clean bathroom, very well disinfected, well lit, all that is very, very important. The clients that we have now, they clean after themselves. They drop something, they mop it themselves. Sometimes we have to remind them that we have people for that. But they're that type of people.
Yeah, the people.
They're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I dropped something on the floor. Let me pick it up real quick. That's the kind of clients we want.
Yeah.
You know, but we had to adjust our prices to attract that type of client. So that those two, they come together. In our tax business, the same thing. I remember when I started doing my taxes, I started doing taxes for people right out of school, and I would go to
$29 taxes or what?
yeah, I would $50, and I would go to Home Depot and do your taxes during your lunch break, and I would
Jeez, running around everywhere. Damn.
going all over everywhere, dude.
Damn.
And I have those clients that remind me sometimes. So I remember when I went to your house. Remember when you used to charge this amount of money? And I'm like, yeah, dude. To now, oh, fuck, Edwin doesn't answer his phone. Well, because we have a secretary. Oh, I want to talk to Edwin. Fuck, Edwin. Why do you need to talk to Edwin? To get a copy of your stuff? Well, we have 4 or 5 people that can send you a copy. So I've had to, little by little, figure out how to communicate with everyone to let them know, hey, it's called Edwin Does Taxes, and I do taxes, I do. But I also have a team of professionals that are well educated, well versed in the industry that can help.
Yeah.
You're not running the business out of your car anymore.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
All the legal documents in the car. Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Little black market, social security.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it has to be done with caress, because these are my clients and they matter everything to me. Yeah. Those clients mean everything to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I'm able to survive. So it's not that I don't want to talk to you or that I don't want to send you a copy. It's that I'm unable to.
Yeah.
You know, after a while that happens, and the scary part to that is adjusting, making sure that you can rely on people and that kind of thing. So there's adjustments that can be made. Yeah. And they that's just the way it has to be done. Once you start building your team, and you understand that because you're building your team right now. Yeah. As your team grows, you start delegating certain aspects of what you do, and you rely on these people to make sure that these things are done correctly.
Yeah, very true. And so, Edwin, you're seeing all the changes in the economy, you're kind of adjusting your side of the business. You're chasing a certain thing right now, right? Let's say you were to tell yourself 10 years ago, you know, you're starting all over again, knowing what you know now, and this being we're in COVID times with this economy, and you can jump in as well. What's the fastest way to $1 million now that you would say for somebody starting up, wanting to become successful, wanting to hit that financial goal?
Transportation.
TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be doing some dancing videos. Huh?
Of course, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're actually,
that's true.
Yeah, YouTube and TikTok.
Entertainment.
Those are,
that's true.
That's true, though. You could, if you come up with, we have one client that does YouTube.
Yeah, but let's get serious. Come on.
Oh, I have a client that does YouTube.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. Oh, okay.
I have one client that does.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a very fast way to get up there. We have a client that does YouTube. He makes like $500,000. Yeah, he makes like $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Yeah, and he's just and on YouTube. Yeah, and he's fucking smart, and that's just the way he does things. Yeah. And I asked him one time, I go, "Fuck, dude, I try to explain what I do to my parents for a living. Yeah, how do you explain it to your parents?" Yeah. His parents must be nervous as fuck. Yeah. But the kid made $500,000 last year, $500,000 the year before. That's $1 million, 2 years. Yeah. He's buying a house right now, dude. And if you look at the kid, bro, he doesn't seem like he's not. He knows what these tools are. He knows how to use them well. And what it is I don't. If you go on YouTube, you know they have those lo-fi videos with lo-fi music in the background. He does that.
Oh shit!
That's what he does, dude.
Makes those videos.
Makes $500,000 a year, bro. So that may be the fastest way. I also know a kid that's in transportation, trucking.
Okay.
He's been in it for about 2-3 years, and he's already making $1 million right now. He's already at $1 million. He's got maybe 8 trucks. So transportation right now, with the way things are with COVID, everything got fucked up. The scheduling, all that. If you can figure out how to put things together, right? Our transportation companies did very well the last 2 years, right?
Yeah, a lot of money coming in.
A lot of money coming in, millions of dollars, dude. I have guys that are like, oh, fuck, no sé ni cómo se pone Edwin ahí. And they're making $1 million, dude, because the transportation industry got strong, dude. It's
How does somebody get into that? Do you know at all? Like,
I mean, my
basics?
buddy just bought a truck, and he just started driving it himself until I convinced him to start letting someone drive it at night for him.
Oh, okay.
And so now his truck is running 24 hours a day
Morning and night, yeah.
for Amazon. Amazon's a very big company. He lives in Ontario, right next to Amazon.
Yeah.
And fuck, it's already there. It's already set up.
They just create like a contract with them. They go try to.
They sub you out every day. Every day they get independent owners, and they give them work every day. And trips are $500 to $1,000 a trip. Yeah. So you're making $500. If you do 2 trips, you're making $1,000. Let's say it costs you $400 to do that. You're taking home $600 a day. So that's $7,000 a week.
At night
too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly, because you're running your truck. You're running your truck day and night. So transportation is a big one that's more along the lines of like what's old school and just traditional. Besides that, a really popular business that I've seen blow up recently is those ice cream parlors. Like the Mexican ice cream with the tajin and the tamarindo and the candy.
Yeah.
We have a client we have Crazy Cup.
Yeah, like Crazy Cup. Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. We have a few different versions of that.
Do you think the economy has affected those kind of businesses though much because
it's so hot here in LA right now, dude?
Is it just consistent?
People, when they feel sad, I think they consume more food and alcohol. When they're that's the happy go-to. I believe
that's true. I'm sure we all sat down with our buckets.
Yeah, hit the ice cream real hard.
Bottle.
You just broke up with someone, you get a bucket of ice cream.
Yeah. Johnny. Because of Johnny, there's a lot of ice cream parlors in business, huh?
Yeah, Johnny's been breaking hearts, bro. So there's a lot of chicks out there hitting the Crazy Cup, right?
They do any of my royalties.
Make a residual income off that.
Yeah. So there's definitely some traditional businesses out there, and then there's new up and coming types of ways, which is like my dad mentioned, social media
platforms.
That can be very powerful.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with my pops on that one.
I tell my son, there's so much going on. Wherever you look, you just got to look for the opportunity,
Yeah.
And just make it happen. It's sacrificing. It's a lot of hours. You have to put up with a lot of work. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I would not do it any other way. You got to just, work.
You got to put in some work.
We got to make Edwin a TikTok y ponerlo allá a bailar un rato. At least with all the traveling he does. Just change the setting and change the environment. Y el mismo bailecito así or something.
I like people not knowing where I'm at.
Make an E with your head.
Yeah. Definitely. That's definitely the way that things are going right now.
Yeah.
That's definitely an option.
I know you had something to say.
I mean, any industry that you can make content with is pretty good right now. So like nail techs, barbers, coffee shops.
Barbers blew up, dude.
That's true.
Fuck, it's expensive to get a haircut now, dude. Yeah.
That's because you got a ton of hair down here.
Yeah, dude, a fucking beard and hair. My barber's doing all right.
Spend a little. Oh man, I don't even want to ask because.
Oh, my barber does well, bro.
I remember
my barber's my middle school friend, so I always pay him double.
Yeah.
So I always hook him
awesome.
up. That's my boy, dude. So
dude,
that's one thing.
One thing
I will say is, if you like your person that does anything for you,
take care of them.
Always pay them well.
Take care of them.
Don't ask for any fucking discounts.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
Everybody has a family to feed, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, show some love, and that's one way.
Shout out to my barber too. Yeah. He tried to give me a birthday cut the other day. And for free. He does it usually every year, and I was like, nah. Like I felt that exact thing. I said, here, cashed him out for it. I was like, either way, like he got a kid, he got things like that. I'm like, hey,
we all have responsibilities.
yeah, like we're all here to make money. You know,
Absolutely.
like, birthday cut. I told him, give my son a cut. It'll be fast, easy. You know.
That's okay. Yeah. Quickly,
but-
la cabecita.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But-
perfect. And that's the way it's got to be, dude. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I've learned is who your friends are and who your business associates are and that kind of labeling, that kind of stuff, and that's the way it's got to be. If you really appreciate someone, pay them well for their time. That's what's gonna determine, how you feel about them. That's the way it is. It's time. Time has value.
Yep. And there's that line, right? And nobody's gonna remember what you told them. They're gonna remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
Sometimes when you take care of people, they're like, man, like you never know what they were doing, what they were dealing with that day. Maybe that low extra dollar, whatever, went a long way. It just people don't do that nowadays. I think enough.
Enough of, right?
Yeah,
That's
like-
very critical.
Yeah.
Very, very critical. I believe in that 100%. Everyone that I do business with has to do well. Otherwise, there's something missing.
Yeah.
It's a give and take relationship.
Yeah. And for new people, I mean, preparing for tax season. I know we can go on and on and on and on, but
Yeah, for taxes,
tax season's coming.
tax season's
Right.
coming.
What are
it's
some
around the
tips
corner.
for business owners, people that are in business?
That's a great time right now. So it's funny that you mentioned that. Right now, our main focus is going to be on preparing all of our clients. So we're going to start reaching out to a lot of our
For you
clients.
guys. Yep.
And this is the perfect time to prepare. Ideally,
What do you mean by prepare?
the perfect example is we have to know where we're at right now already. So up to this point, you should know how much money you've made and how much money you've spent, where you're at in profit.
Yeah.
And we should be planning either retirement account contributions or expanding equipment, replacing equipment, maybe prepaying some rent. If we're low on funds, then we need to figure out what to cut back on because we're going to have to pay some taxes soon. So there's adjustments to be made. Right now, I was just at a client that I spent the whole week at, and we laid 10 people off based on the information that I gave them. And that was my suggestion. Now, I hate firing people, but I'll do it very easily because I've learned how to fire people over time. That's very important for a business owner to be able to do.
Are you like the Vince McMahon kind of firing?
I'll fire the fuck out of anyone.
Fire.
Oh, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll super fire someone. But I feel like when you're in that situation, you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Layoffs are a little bit different.
Yeah.
That just means temporarily we're letting you go while the business picks up.
Yeah, because without letting you go, there's no business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my job is to make sure that the owner's still able to go to Colombia whenever he wants to, go to Hawaii whenever he wants to. He has to drive the Mercedes. He has to have the condo. He has to have the dinners. He has to have the champagne, all that shit. He's the boss. He deserves that after 30 years of whatever he did. That has to stay in place. There is a cut. I made him take a cut and pay. But I told him, no, your vacations, you've been working your whole life for this. Your vacations stay. You got to fuck off for once a month to vacation. And that has to stay in place. Those 10 people that got laid off, that's the way it is. That's just business. There's not enough volume coming in, and we have to adjust. And that's the way we adjusted. He looked at the books. At first he was nervous. Now he feels excited. Why? Because we're saving $25,000, $30,000 on payroll a week. And that's filling in that gap that's able to sustain his lifestyle. And it's not fair for him to sacrifice that lifestyle when he built the empire.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the luxury of what you get at the end of the day is that you're the boss.
Yeah.
He's the boss and he deserves that. So my job is to protect that. I could have taken away all his vacations to have 10 people just picking their noses because there's no work to do. But why would I do that to him when it's not fair to him?
Yeah.
So there's just right now the economy is a little tricky. So planning everything for January is crucial. If you haven't been keeping your receipts, right now may be the perfect time to start. You could go to Staples, buy a box for $20. You can start storing your receipts. You can start putting things away, and you can start doing some better record keeping.
Question for you, and this is something that I know that has come up to us. if let's say on my transactions on my credit card, I bought a bunch of stuff in the last few months, but I didn't keep the receipts for it, is it possible to create some receipts manually
I wouldn't.
for those items?
It's kind of hard because they're gonna want to see the receipt that says
Location.
the specific item you bought, when you bought it, where you bought
SKU
it.
number, location, the
Right,
time,
right.
the date.
I believe the credit card it should be able to
Well,
give you.
you know, the credit card has some
You're
description.
gonna get your
Yeah.
statement. You're gonna get your credit card statement with all that. That would be a backup source. Ideally,
Is there flexibility in that? Is my question, because and you know, and think of the
It
ideal
really-
person. They don't. Sometimes they go out to dinner, you know, $300-400 bills and stuff, and they misplace a receipt. Then
I
what,
would
you know?
I would rather at this point. That's why these 3 months are crucial
Yeah.
to adjust to that. I would rather that gets fixed now,
Okay.
because then if I go to an audit, I can say, well, this is the system that he's using. He just doesn't have it for the whole year. But this is the system we're using right here. Look at it.
Like things are good now.
Yeah, this is the way we're going.
Yeah.
Just, we have the credit card statements are right here, but we don't have the receipts. The reason why we don't have the receipts are because we adjusted because the client's not informed.
Yeah.
I'm informing them and I'm correcting it, and this is the way we corrected it. So this would be the perfect time to adjust. So it's funny that you bring that up because that gives us a window to be able to justify why you didn't have it before and why you have it now. And it's
Got it.
because now you're informed of how you have to have things done. Now, we're just being overly cautious right now because obviously not everyone's going to get audited.
Yeah.
But what a coincidence that maybe you do. Then you want to be prepared.
Makes sense.
A lot of people are under the impression that audits only happen to the bigger clients.
It's the
And
opposite.
and it's not true, exactly.
Yeah, it's the opposite. That's why they're funneling so much money into
Yeah.
like the small business.
Small
audits.
businesses usually get hit.
Yeah. Well, because they assume you don't have an accountant.
Exactly.
Yeah, they that's where they make most of their money. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a lot easier,
Yeah.
for me to audit someone like my dad maybe 20 years ago in comparison now that he has I do his books.
Yeah.
I do his invoicing. If they audit him, he's going to send me, That's not going to work out for the IRS. But if 20 years ago he didn't have me, he's had some big, hefty tax bills to pay.
Eventually, I learned that, like you say, keep your receipts, and
Yeah.
any little transaction, for as little as it looks, it adds up at the end of the year.
That's crucial. That's crucial. So, and it's good for you. It's good practice because you know how much you're spending. If
Yeah.
you're tracking everything
Yep.
and you're paying attention to all these details, you know where you're at. And that's
Yeah.
good. It's always good to know where you're at.
That's something we do here. As soon as we set up usually a corporation or somebody with, that finally has access to a lot of the deductions, we do an expense sheet, like an expense training for them to give them access. Look, these are all the deductions you have access to. This is how you should track them. Here you put your income. It's like a balance sheet I have.
Yeah.
Here you put your income. Here you put your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, how much money goes to debt. And then you need to understand your cash flow every month. So you know if the business is profitable or not.
Yeah.
Are you making money? Where are the cash leaks? Where is everything?
Exactly.
But no, that's totally true. That's why the whole goal is, right, when somebody comes to us here, we help prepare you and get all these things ready so that we can pass them on to Edwin, to Johnny, and they come in and just close the books at the end of the year.
Yep. We go over it, and then we go over everything. Sometimes I have to go line by line. Some people look at the stuff that I do, and it would make them nervous. And I honestly enjoy the shit out of it. So, and
He's a sick man.
Yeah.
and then sometimes I don't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to him to do it, and he'll fucking power through it in like an hour. And I'm like, fuck, Johnny, like I don't have shit for you to do now. You just did the whole shit that you're supposed to do in a week,
Yeah.
in an hour. Fuck.
We keep him busy.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, like we said at the beginning, you're not gonna beat the system.
Yeah.
We can play the game.
Yeah.
So we'll take advantage of depreciation. all those
100%.
special
We love playing the
bonuses.
game.
Yeah.
What this guy said.
Yeah.
That's right, Johnny.
Yeah. You just can't send us to an audit with no records.
Yeah.
What are we gonna tell them?
Yeah, like I tell a lot of my clients, and don't send me to an audit with just my dick in my hands. Don't do that.
Jesus.
Like, what am I gonna do? You know, negotiate.
It's like,
What?
It's like when you go to court. You know, you got to build your case. You know, you got to.
Yeah, you gotta have
pictures,
something, bro.
whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't want to show up sin pistola, you know, to the gunfight.
Pues sacas la pistolita, ¿no?
Yeah, lista, pistolita, you know. So that's what it comes down to, is being prepared.
Yeah.
And these next 3 months, that's what they're gonna be. The core of it all is preparing for February. February is go time.
Yeah.
But by then, I don't want business owners to go, oh, that's how we did? Oh, shit, we made money, fuck. We have to pay taxes, Edwin.
Instead of, shit, I needed a new truck anyways, Edwin. I should have just bought the truck in December.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We want them to know now, like, oh, shit, we made money right now. Fuck, maybe we should send a little bit to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
You know, kind of soften that blow. And some clients tell me, oh, do I need to get on a quarterly system? Are you making any profit? Oh, no, I took a big-ass loss. The IRS doesn't tax you if you're taking losses. You don't pay taxes.
Question. I know this is just, I get a lot of clients who are a lot of new business here. And for those of you who are asking similar questions, which I think this is something that a lot of people ask, is at the end of the year, how, you know, a lot of people don't want to pay taxes.
Right.
Because they're, you know, they haven't understood that if you're paying a lot in taxes, it's because you made a ton of money. And that's good. But a lot of the initial people, in the initial stages, we probably were all there where we're like, screw the system. We don't want to pay any taxes.
Absolutely.
So how can we get as close to zero or negative in our taxes?
Oh, there's many ways.
But that's not always good, is what I was trying to get to.
Not always good.
Not always good.
Not always
It's
good
maybe
at
the
all.
first 2-3 years, depending on where you're at in your business. Sure. But after that point, for somebody to build credit, for somebody to buy a house, buy property, all these things, you can't be at negative all the time.
You got to show a nice, healthy, strong profit.
Now, what do you suggest for those people that they don't want to pay a lot in taxes, but they want to
You got to pick one or the other. You got to pick one or the other. You want to play the game, pay some taxes, and get in the game. Once you're in the game's going to pay for everything. But you have to initially pull the trigger. You know what I mean? There's no way that we can get someone to show $100,000 of profit without paying any taxes.
Yeah, otherwise, your business is never going to grow. It's going to stay the same. So eventually, everything has to be growing. You know, like
Yeah, on paper too.
Yeah, especially on paper. Paper is the most important part.
Yeah.
The paper is that's what's going to determine how much you're going to be able to borrow and how far you're going to be able to take it. You know, if the bank says, hey, we need you to make, because the bank has an idea of what you need to make.
Yeah.
Based on what they're willing to lend you, right? So breaking even is good in the beginning. Taking
If
a
you have
loss
a high
is
revenue,
normal.
it's not that bad.
Not a
High
bad thing
revenue,
at
but
all.
you're breaking even, casi.
If you're
Maybe
gonna
a few
do high
thousand
revenue,
extra.
well, if you're gonna do high revenue, just pay your taxes quarterly, so you don't have to pay a lump sum. If you're more comfortable paying $5,000 every 3 months instead of just $20,000 up front, then do that. You know, I usually I plan my year out based on my goals. I like to buy something right now consistently. I like to invest at least once a year. So the year before, I bought a laundromat. The year after that, I bought a house. I bought 2 houses in 1 year. So next year, I don't want to make a move. Next year, I'm going to plan to break even. So I got to make a plan for myself to figure out how to break even, because I'm not fucking with the bank next year.
Yeah.
I've already did a lot of investing in the last 3 years. Now I want to make sure that I get all that situated, get it all rented out, and get it all doing what it's got to do, self-sustain itself. And then if I plan on growing it, then I would plan to show more profit. And once you show more profit, I pay a shit ton of taxes.
Yeah.
You know, that's just reality. You know, I told my wife, is like, what kind of refund are we getting? I'm like, fuck. Oh, shit, you know.
you're only getting credit. That's what you're getting
really
credit.
asking, Edwin, was, you know, where can I go shop
Yeah,
this week?
she was like, hey, what I mean is how much money, you know. And I have a housewife, bro.
Can I go to Louboutin or Louis Vuitton? Which
Right?
one?
I go, no, Macy's. You get the low end coach.
Well, Swamia, we used to go as close, huh?
Paramount Swami.
It's still open.
Paramount
What do you
Swami.
mean it's closed?
Is it?
You cobran $3 to get
Oh,
in.
really?
Yeah, Paramount Swami.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. My
man.
dad loves that place, bro. My dad and my cuñado, they be going every week for no reason.
Yeah, just to
go
walk around.
Just to walk.
To go walk.
I mean, cada quien.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
You get to see a lot of stuff there, tools and whatever.
That's how the house gets filled with unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
Just came back.
Yeah, all
Hey, I
this
bought
shit.
a lawnmower porque estaba barata. A lawnmower. We have 3.
Yeah, we already have a lawnmower. Yeah, but it was a good deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I got asked, hey, what kind of refund are we getting? And I was like, I'm paying 20 G's. That's what's that's our fucking refund. I have to give Uncle Sam $20,000.
So we're gonna,
know?
so we're gonna downgrade you from a Mercedes to a Kia.
Yep, Kia Optima, bro. So that's because I decided that I wanted to purchase another property.
Yeah.
But I'm using my leverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the only way to use that leverage is to borrow money, and the only way to borrow money is you got to pay some taxes.
Yeah.
The game can be played well.
Yeah. You just got to know the rules.
You got to know the rules. We know the rules, so we play the game very well. And it becomes a little unfair when you know what you have to do and how to keep it tight. It becomes unfair to the normal business owner if you don't have that accountant.
Yeah.
It becomes unfair if they don't come over here to our office.
Yeah, they don't invest.
If you guys don't reach out to us, you don't invest the time and energy to come out, get a consultation, and have us help you, guide you in the right place. That's your problem.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to be able to know this stuff without having someone guide you. It's some of it is public information. Obviously, TikTok has great videos about it. They shorten the shit out of everything. So then we have a lot
I posted one just ticking my thing.
Yeah.
Exactly
TikTok
what you
is
talked
good
about,
to, like,
S Corp and stuff.
To start the flame in you to want this information.
Yeah,
but you
so
can't
I
just go
like
off of
that
it.
because
Yeah.
it brings that spark, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that's not exciting in our industry.
Yeah.
Our industry is not exciting. We're not like fucking doing exciting things. We're filling out forms and
Yeah.
shit.
Our
You know?
business owners. Our business
Yeah,
owners
yeah.
do like the sexy part, like
Yeah.
they make
They're doing all
content,
the
whatever
fun
they gotta
stuff.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, you got
What-
guys that are doing
Why
all kinds of
why
shit.
do you think we're here?
Yeah.
We're doing FFC Studios. We're here. We're making some content. It's gonna be fun.
It is fun. It's
fun.
definitely a lot more fun.
If you're
than
at
just-
home, you're probably having a little coffee, cheleando.
Right now it's Saturday,
little
right?
Wine
So-
on Saturday.
Today's Saturday, so mariscos.
This gonna be dropped on like probably like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, during the so
Yeah,
there's
so coffee, morning
little
coffee.
cafecito.
Cafecito. They get to learn. They get to watch. They get to have a good time here with us. And so
Yeah, I mean, we
we'll
want to
make it
give as
fun.
much information as possible, but ideally, for someone to get the proper guidance, set up an appointment.
feel free. We don't charge for consultations.
We
I
do
mean,
not.
we don't, so
We don't. So we like informing our clients.
Yeah, please reach out. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here for the people, and we're here to add value to you guys. Because guess what? When you guys win, you guys do better. Your business prospers. If it's a visual representation of us and our work.
Absolutely.
And so we appreciate, anybody coming from every platform, whatever size you are, feel free to reach out. And I want to leave it with that because sometimes people are like, I'm just starting.
I'm just getting
up,
started.
Yeah, this and that.
No.
No. We take everyone because
We don't know where you're gonna be at.
exactly.
We don't know where you're going.
The next person can be
Big.
Yeah.
Very big. And we would like that.
yeah.
We would like it very much. So there's no way for us to determine who's too small or who's too big.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest keys to this is to not intimidate any type of client to think that this is just an idea. We don't know where you're going with that.
Yep.
Like for me, TikTok used to be just a thing, and now it's reality.
Yeah.
So
Now you see Jefe over here.
yeah,
Echándose sus
going viral.
sus quebraditas.
No, it's running a business is tough, and you need professionals
Yeah.
on your side.
Absolutely.
I ran my business just kind of like guessing at the beginning, but then I realized that I needed help,
He couldn't find a professional, so he made one.
No, I started my business way before he started his career. And it was hard. It was hard.
It was very hard, but it was very much worth it.
We never finish learning. That's the truth,
Yeah,
We have to be open.
Even us, people, like, we're knowledgeable, yes, but that's because we stay up to date on everything.
There's always going to be changes.
Yeah.
And that's the reality, that whatever I learned in school 10, 12 years ago and what he learned just recently is different. And it's gotten better. It's gotten tighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I rely on Johnny, because he's got information, he's got new information, and that's very valuable, especially to our clients.
Yeah. No, here at FFC, we're backed by these guys, and at the same time, Heartland, fortunately enough, is a Fortune 50 company. They're largest contributors to the IRS in the state, so we get a lot of that information as well to be able to educate our clients, just pass on, whether it be on tax credits coming up, whatever it may be, to just kind of help guide them at least in the proper direction. And like you said, initially, when you guys come to us, the more important thing, what we want to talk about a majority of the time is where you're looking to go. Because I think that determines everything else.
Absolutely.
Right.
We need to find out what your plan is.
Yeah. But, I appreciate your guys' time. I know any final messages for the people watching at home? Any tips? I know
all the business owners right now, things are going to get tight with the IRS. The IRS got lots of funding for lots of auditors. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if I owned the IRS, that's what I would do. I would hire a bunch of auditors to go and just annihilate everyone that's not prepared. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, no matter how small you think you are, no matter how illegitimate you may think your business is or how legitimate you think your business is. Be prepared. Be prepared. Prepare yourself. It's very easy. It takes a couple of extra seconds, and it's going to be very, very helpful if anything ever goes down. You'll at least have something to hang on to. Yeah. Instead of just showing up completely lost and just obviously paying a lot more. Yeah. So prepare yourselves for a couple of tight, I would say the next 10 years are going to be very tight. The IRS is going to be auditing like crazy. We're going to see a lot of audits. So we're preparing everyone for that. Yeah. And obviously if it doesn't happen and these IRS agents don't do their jobs, which I highly doubt that they won't, then things won't change, but things are definitely going to change. I have a lot of experience in the past with audits, and I know exactly how they go down. They're very, very easy to go through if you're prepared. If you're not, it's easy because you're just gonna pay a shit ton of money. Just bring your checkbook. It's easy both ways. Bring your checkbook. Simple as that.
How about you, Johnny?
I would say I don't care what you did for the whole previous year. But let's get this last quarter right with your records, because how audit works, they go off sample sizes. They don't want to go through every transaction. They're just going to pull a sample. And if we can have a good sample of the last quarter and just base that on like the entire year, then we might be able to get away with it,
Yeah. Okay, so they do like a pre-audit type of thing in a way? Or?
Well, no, but if you adjust now, then you can say, well, we didn't have it for the whole year, but we have it now. Yeah. And this is what we're doing. And this is what we did the whole year. We just didn't do it as tight and neat and clean as this.
We didn't have as polished of a system.
But this is what we have in place. And that is...
quebrada type of thing.
Yeah, it's like at least you have something in comparison to, we didn't track any of that. Oh, well, then just add it back as income then. Yeah. And just pay us an extra $7,500 and we're good. Yeah. Okay. Plus, obviously, the 25% underpayment penalty, which is another $3,000. Yeah. And now you're paying $10,000.
Makes sense. Okay.
So...
Just being organized, like the way I used to do, when I'm kind of like retiring already, but I still, very organized with my bookkeeping and all that, and just be prepared. Now more than ever.
Yeah. See your accountant at least once a month. Mm-hmm. If you can't do it once a month, once every 2 months or once every quarter. Mm-hmm. But don't let it go past the quarter. If you're not seeing your accountant 4 times a year plus your tax time, which is 5 times a year, you're not doing enough.
Yeah. That in a sense, not doing enough. We're business partners of yours. We got to know your industry too.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you do on the daily. This way we can
very true.
organize it properly.
Very true.
Yeah, because your profit and loss is basically tells the story of your business,
Mhm.
and we got to make sure we translate it correctly for the IRS to read.
It's it's teamwork. It's team effort.
Very
If
true.
we seem too busy, it's because we are too busy.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to make an appointment, to show up, and to tell us, hey, this is what I need. This is the information I need from my business. And we will provide that for you immediately.
Very true.
It's very, very important to see your accountant at least 5 times a year.
Very true. Awesome. Well, with that, I know a lot of you guys, you're probably going to have a lot of questions. Please feel free to put the questions in the comments below, or feel free to reach out to us on all our social media platforms. I mean, we have, everything is going to be labeled in the description, you know, their website, our websites, the Instagram, all the platforms. So please feel free to reach out, make a consultation. And, you know, again, I appreciate you guys coming out today. I know we've probably known each other for what now, like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, it's
You know,
been years.
We've been doing business.
We've been working together for a couple of years, and we've both been growing well.
Yeah.
Both been doing very well. We're both focused, and I think that we can offer a lot to our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll definitely be ready. Any questions, any comments? You know, anybody wants to get started, and we can always go over details and obviously our pricing and all that down the line. Our main focus is to get some retention.
Yeah. No, for sure. And well, if everybody that stayed watching with us to this point, you know, thank you guys again. Definitely check out some of our last episodes. We had a pretty cool episode, man. The last time we had a lot of fun with some of the grupos that came here too. So Los de la Angelina, they were jamming out. It was
I need to take a look at that.
pretty fun, man. So, and we have some pretty cool guests coming this week as well. So it's gonna be good. But everybody who you know, still with us here to this point, just want to say thank you guys. Hopefully, you know, we're gonna be bringing more value like this, where we talk about a special subject where we can actually educate people on maybe that are not aware of all the maybe the advantages they can have, and just the system in general. Right? That's the goal here, to empower you guys at home. And so with that, you know, appreciate you guys watching us. Leave a comment if you liked it. You know, if definitely if you want to see part 2 of something like this, if you want Edwin and Johnny back here, y el jefe de jefes también.
Yeah.
You know, we'll bring him back. He'll do a TikTok skit for us.
Yeah.
And
Ready.
that's right. And so with that, we're done with episode 10. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.